I'm Tiffany Garrett. I'm the Family Resource Coordinator here at Rineyville Elementary School. I have about, today is career day, and we have about 16 employers, community members that have come to share their careers with our students. Third through fifth grade, this is for third through fifth grade, they're working on their work ethic certifications. And so this is just a way for us to introduce to them some of the opportunities that are out there for them to grow up and inspire to be.
We have continuous education. We have to go every year. We get to pick what we want to go for. One year I went for evidence tech and custodian. I did that at another department. I did that for many, many years, and I love that part of it. That's when you go to the crime scene and collect everything. But I've also went for forensic interviewing. I've been there for SRO training. I've been there for all kinds of things, just different. Every year I pick something different.
What is needed to be a police officer?
I had to apply. I had to have the education, the schooling. Like I told you, I went to college for law enforcement 2 years at HCEC. That helped me with my reading, my writing. I had to do math. And then, of course, I had to take an interpersonal communications class. But like I said, too, I worked EMS, so I had a lot of people contact. You have to have compassion for what you do. Like I said, I went to college. It's continuous. And then you have, after you apply and they accept you, you have to pass a physical test. You have to run 1.5 miles, and that's timed. You have to do a 300-meter sprint. You have to do push-ups, sit-ups. But then, after you pass that, you go in and you're admitted into the police academy. I went to Richmond, Kentucky. I went for 18 weeks, and it was pretty much like a boot camp. We had PT every day, which is exercise. We did that. We did classroom time for 8 hours. Then on top of that, we had an off-duty 30-minute run every evening. And then on weekends, we were told, do nothing. Let your body recover, let your mind recover, and then we went back to the academy. But you constantly, in midterm, we had to do another POPS test, which was the physical, to see how we were improving. And then the last week of the academy, and of course we're taking tests throughout this academy. Every quarter, I think we had to take a written exam, and you had to pass it. We couldn't fail anything. And then the last week, we had to take a physical. You had to pass it, or you didn't graduate.
So my name is Chase, and I work for Kentucky Utilities here in Elizabethtown. There's 2 companies in E-Town that provide power to your houses. That's going to be KU and Nolan RECC. So I'm a 3rd-generation lineman. What that means is my grandfather was a lineman, my dad was a lineman, and now I'm a lineman. So I'm kind of carrying on to the tradition. So when I got out of high school, I went to a lineman tech center. There's 2 of those in Kentucky, one in Louisville, one in Somerset. And it's an 8-week program. It teaches you just the basics of being a lineman, how to climb poles and stuff. Once I got out of school, I got on with a utility company and started what they call an apprenticeship program. And some of those vary, but mine took 4 years. So what that means is I work hands-on while I get paid, and work hands-on to learn the career. They teach me as I go. And after 4 years, I top out and become a journeyman lineman. Okay? So when I work on the high voltage lines out here at the street, you see? So those are 7,200 volts of electricity. So like your light bulbs in your house, most of those are run off of 120 volts. So it's quite a bit more out here at the street. But to protect myself, I have to wear these high voltage gloves and sleeves, okay?
Big gloves.
Yeah, they are big gloves, so I don't get shocked.
Get shocked.
You can get shocked, yeah.
Yeah, because it's electricity involved.
So I have to wear these high voltage gloves and sleeves. So these posts here on the road that you see, I can get to my truck. I use this bucket truck to work on those because they're by the road.
Yeah, you use that.
Yep. But sometimes the lines and the poles are in the fields, in the woods, where it's really muddy. I can't get a truck to them. So then I have to find the poles with these hooks. All right, into these hooks, there's really sharp spikes. See how sharp they are? So go on my feet. put them on my feet, and I'll strap them to my legs, okay?
Okay.
And then I'll put this tool belt on. Goes around my waist. Got all the tools I need to work when I'm up in the air. So some days like today, I get to go out and work in really nice weather. It's really nice out. And some days, like when the storms came through, I have to go out and it's raining. It's dark outside, storming and lightning.
Do you have a flashlight to help you see?
I do. I've got a couple flashlights. I've got one that goes on my hard hat, another one that I carry in my hand.
Like the ones that you use in caves.
Yep, that's right. And some of these trucks have lights on them too to help us see. So like when your power went out the other night, guys like myself and the guys who work for Nolan, we got our shoes on and came to work.
I feel like I've seen you.
Let me introduce myself. My name is David Walters. I'm the chief of the Rineyville Volunteer Fire Department that's right down the road here next to the railroad tracks. And I also work for the City of Elizabethtown Fire Department full-time as a captain. So what I'm here today to talk to you about is basically the career of a firefighter, okay? So kind of give you an insight, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been in the fire service for 20 years and I've learned a lot. I'm also a licensed paramedic, so I also help take care of people when they're sick and injured too. So it's kind of a lot of things that we do. Believe it or not, we do get cats out of trees, even though they should come down. I've never seen a cat skeleton in a tree. They usually come down when they're hungry, right? But we also take care of a lot of things. We also help with car wrecks. We help law enforcement we help law enforcement with car wrecks and directing traffic. We also even go out and we cut down trees out of the roadway. Y'all remember the bad storm that just came through last week? It's scary, wasn't it? Yeah. I was out in that cutting around and just being blowed all over the place trying to get trees out of the roadway so we could get ambulances where we needed to go. So we got a lot of responsibilities that we do, right? So that's the things that we got to learn. So by doing that, we need to pay attention to a lot of things that we do in school, right? So what do you think the firefighters need to learn in school y'all need to learn in school to become a firefighter? What do you think?
Physics.
Physics, yeah. What else? Science? What about health and PE? You think that's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to be strong and be in shape to do this, right? And round is not a shape. I mean, it is a shape, but it's not a good shape to work in. So, all right? So there's a lot of things that we got to do. So let me tell you a little bit about my day as a fireman, okay, when I go to work. When I go to work as a fireman, I go to work at 7:30 in the morning. Where are y'all at 7:30 in the morning?
School.
Yeah, y'all are at school, right? So when I go to work, I go in there and I make sure my truck's got all the equipment on it and everything's ready to go because I could go at any time, right? I could go on a run at any time. Still got to do schooling even at work, just like y'all do school here. I train on the equipment that I got to use and I got to stay really proficient in what I use that for. So my schedule, I start work at 7:30 in the morning. I don't get off work until 7:30 the next morning.
You work for
I work for 24 hours, or I'm at work for 24 hours. So I get to eat, sleep, and stay there just like a house away from home. Okay, is that kind of cool? Yeah, but I can get up. When they tell me I got a fire run, I got to get up and go, whether I'm sleeping or not. I got to get up and go, right?
fire alarm at the middle.
So it's kind of a cool thing. But because I work that, do you think I work 24 hours every day? No. So my schedule is I work 24 hours. So I work one day and then I get off 2 days. So I think about it every day I go to work. It's almost like Friday. I get Saturday and Sunday off, right? How much money do you think a fireman makes? What do you think they make a year?
75.
Ah, man, pretty close. Pretty close. I wish I was up that high. What do you think?
$100 a year.
$100. Hopefully it's a lot more than that. We make starting pay for a firefighter in this area is $50,000 a year. That sounds like a lot of money, but as you learn to get adults, you're going to learn that you got to pay bills and you got to feed. Now that money don't last very long. So some of the equipment you see here. So we've got what we call a thermal imager camera. When we turn this on, this allows us to be able to see inside smoke and dark places, and it recognizes heat, so we can find the fire quickly. Okay. We've also got what we see down there is them tools down there. Them are called our rescue tools. The bigger one on the right is called a spreader. So when we use them, you might be in a car wreck and we can't get you out of the car. Them tools there, we're able to stick in the door or push metal and make it move out of the way if it won't open. Okay?
When your car flips over and
Yep. We've got our air pack over there that we wear with our mask. So it's got our breathing air in there so we can be inside that smoky environment and it not hurt us. And then we've got our turnout gear that you see right there that keeps us safe and warm. So with that on and that on, I'm carrying roughly about another 150 pounds of weight.
I I'm Staff Sergeant Brittany Seeger with the Kentucky Army National Guard. I'm a recruiter here in E-Town, but I started off as military police officer, and I'm just here to tell the kids about our experiences and what we do. One of the great benefits and things that are important for the students to know about is that they don't have to leave their families. They can come back here if they want to serve in the Kentucky Army National Guard, and they can go to school and get their tuition paid for 100%.
Amy Chancellor, school counselor at Rineyville Elementary. My skills for a school counselor, the most important one is communication. So communication, remember, is how we talk to people. Okay, I have to be able to talk to kids just like you guys, but then I also have to be able to talk to adults, I have to talk to teachers, and I have to be able to talk to parents. But another side of that is not just talking to them, but also listening, right? I gotta be able to listen to what you guys say and to the problems that you have in your life. I gotta be able to listen to parents and teachers and be able to help them solve or come up with solutions to problems. So it's not just talking, but it's also how we listen to each other, okay? So let's think about this. What extracurricular activities? Those are things that I did outside of like school to help me become a school counselor or a teacher. Some of the most important things I did was play sports. Do you guys play sports? Yeah, you guys like to play sports? Yeah, so that's what I did as a kid too. I was a cheerleader, I played softball, okay? And being part of sports is really important. It helps you learn teamwork, helps you learn how to communicate with others, just like if you're on a baseball field or a soccer field and you gotta talk to your teammates. You got to be able to learn how to communicate better. You got to listen to your teammates. And so that's what really helped me become a good communicator, was playing sports, so that I learned how to work with other people, all right? Well, so do you guys know what a salary is?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's a salary?
It's like when you get paid.
Yeah.
When you get paid for your small amount of money.
Yeah. So a salary is how much you get paid over like a year, all right? And when you have a career, you get paid, like that. You have a yearly pay, a salary, okay? And so when you first start out as teaching, okay, when you first graduate college, you can make around, let's say, $30,000 a year, okay? Now that sounds like a lot, right? But what comes out of that salary? What do you have to pay? Money. What kind of money?
Like tax money for food.
Yeah. You got to pay for your food. You got to pay your taxes. You got to pay your groceries, bills like your internet and your cell phone. So that money kind of goes fast, right? Well, what happens in teaching is the more years you work and the more degrees you have, the more money you get, just like in any job. That's why it's so important to keep learning. So she asked if you have to interact with people too, right? Yeah, so communication, yeah, you have to be able to talk and listen, but I also got to be able to interact with people, right? Because I've got to be able to talk to them about things, but I also have to be kind. We have to be able to listen, be compassionate, that empathy, and interact with lots of different people too.
Wes Purdy with Altech, mechanical engineer here at Rineyville, doing career day with the students. So a lot of engineers create and design stuff, right? Yeah, so that's what I do, right? So hey, that truck that's outside, I've got some toys here that are like it, but that real truck that's sitting outside, that was designed and built out of our plant here at E-Town. Yeah, so that's what I do at Altech. We design and we build those trucks for power companies. Who here likes having power at your house? Like, who likes TV? TV, internet, video games, Google, YouTube, all that stuff, right? Right? So how do you think that stuff gets to your house? Yeah, so we got to get the power to your house, right? So they use trucks like the one outside that we design and we build at E-Town. They use those to get power to your house. So the power's at the top. And guess what? You still got to have all your internet too, right? And the internet's at the bottom. They use it to put both of them up. There are, yeah. There's like strings that connect them and stuff like that. So any guesses on how high that thing takes you? How high do you think it takes you in there? Pretty close. It's like 40 feet. So you're a little higher, but hey, guess how tall that crane goes?
60 feet, 100.
150 feet. So anybody seen like really tall buildings?
Yeah, like
right? So like maybe a hospital or a hotel or stuff like that, right? We got to use cranes to set those big steel beams up there when they're building it, right? So we design the trucks that do all that.
Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Justin Belford from Fort Knox, Kentucky, and I'm here talking to the kids at Rineyville Elementary School about future career choices and the United States Army. So what do you think the level of education you need to join the Army? What do you think?
Like at least you need to finish college and
Okay.
military education.
So college, if you want to be an Army officer, you need to graduate from college. If you want to enlist in the Army, you have to graduate from where? High school first. Why do you think you need to graduate from high school before you join the Army? Yeah. That's right. It takes a lot of important skills. So we solve problems, right? Engineers need to learn how to do math and need to be able to design. And how do you think they communicate those things to people? You think they write a lot?
No, they talk to them.
They write, they talk, right? So all those skills are really important to develop. And so that's why it's really important to graduate from high school first and then join the Army. And you go through what? Really important Army training called basic training, where it teaches you the skills you have to need to be in the Army. I've been in the Army for 20 years. How many years do you think I spent in school while I was in the Army? 4? That's really close. 7? 5 years. So almost every time I move, every 3 years, I go back to school to improve myself through education. In fact, last week, and I'm 40 years old, I just got back from school. Because I keep going to school so that I can keep learning throughout my life.
Most of you know me because I work here. I'm Mrs. Young, and we're going to talk today about being a teacher. So, first of all, here's a little background about Mrs. Young. Before I worked here at the school, I was a children's librarian. So I studied to be a librarian in school, and I did all the library programs over at the Radcliffe Library for Kids. I did story time, and I'm really passionate about literacy. Literacy is like reading and the enjoyment of reading and teaching kids to read. If you ever are like stuck and don't know what kind of book you like, or maybe you feel like, oh, I don't like reading right now, come see Mrs. Young. I got book suggestions for all sorts of kids, okay? But I decided to become a teaching assistant here at Rineyville. So I'm a teaching assistant here at Rineyville, and I do the robotics and STEM club here at Rineyville. Yes. But I'm also back in college to get another degree to become a classroom teacher here, because teachers are lifelong learners. Teachers are going to go on and you can always get more education to do your next career. Let's talk about a job. What does it take to be a teacher? Here's the job overview. 5 things for being a teacher. There's 5 roles. Number 1, you are a resource for your students. Resource means you're giving them the information they need. You're providing it. Number 2, you support your students, right? You need a teacher that supports you and cares about you. Number 3, you're a mentor. A mentor is a role model. I'm sure there is somebody in this school, a teacher, that you look up to that has inspired you to do something. Maybe Miss Thurman has inspired you to want to know more about science, right? Number 4, you are a helper. Not only are you helping your students, but you want to help your school. You show up for things like basketball games and awards nights and meetings, and you help your other teachers and your students. And number 5, you're a learner forever. A teacher wants to keep learning because they want to keep inspiring their students.
Hi, I'm Chris Cunningham. I work for the United States Army Recruiting Command, where I'm a computer programmer. Who's ever played this game called Flappy Bird? Right? This game called Flappy Birds.
They get money for like the whole time.
They do. Actually, they make about $50,000 a month off of that game. And it all came from an idea that somebody had to make a video game, right? Yes. The most important skill is probably... Wow, that's a good question. Probably math. You have to know math in order to make the connections. I think that would be the best skill.
And then,
right.
Yeah, Angry Birds makes a ton of money too.
So these guys are making $1 million a month off of this game.
Hello everybody, my name is Elena Pennington. retired, and my son had grown up, and he became a real estate agent. And he said, Mom, I need your help. You have to get your real estate license. So what do you think that meant I had to do to get my real estate license? Yes. I did. I had to go to real estate school. You're exactly right. So, what does it mean to be a real estate agent? What do I do?
You help sell houses to people?
Yes, I help people buy houses. That's right.
Hi, my name is Madeline, and I'm the owner of Running Souls in Elizabethtown. And basically today we're teaching the kids about how to be a small business owner, and we're telling them about what our business is about, and they have all kinds of good questions about what it is about being a small business owner, and what kinds of training does it take. I've had questions about what type of salary, what kinds of shoes and things like that. So it's a pretty good thing to teach kids at a younger age about.
How do you make the shoes?
So the companies make the shoes. They design the shoes. Yeah, it's all manufacturer, and when we have all kinds of different designs in shoes, we have specific types of shoes that we get from the big companies that get shipped to us.
So do you have to know like fractions, math, and reading and writing, and like all the school subjects?
Yep, in every business you do have to learn about math skills and reading skills and writing skills, because you have to learn about inventory and how to keep track of your money and all things like that. So basically, yeah, you definitely have to learn about those skills.
Do you have all boy shoes or you have some girl shoes?
No, we have boys and girls, like from little kids up to big adults.
How do you know what size the shoes are?
So for what we do in our store, we specialize in shoe fitting for people. So we have special devices and things that helps us figure out what kinds of shoes size you need and things like that.
This is a belt tensioning guide, and a sling cyclometer. And the way it works, you have a little sock on the thermometer, and you have a thermometer without a sock. You put a little water on this, and put it inside this little compartment, and then you spin it, just like this. After you spin it and stop, then you read these temperatures. As you read the temperatures, then you put it in here, and then you read the temperatures, and it tells you what the relative humidity is in the space. Cool? This is called a Volometer. As the air flows, it spins this little wheel inside here, and then you read the scale, and it tells you how much airflow there is. It can tell you if it's too fast or too slow. It's a good diagnostic tool.
Hi guys, my name is Jordan. Can you guess what I am? I'm a nurse, that's right. Yep, so I actually went to, do you guys know where Creekside is?
No.
Okay, so I went to elementary school at Creekside, and then I graduated from Central Hardin High School. Have you guys heard of Central?
Yes.
Yep, okay. So I am a nurse in the emergency room, and I see all kinds of different things, from a broken leg, to your heart not working, to your belly hurting, and I've done that for about 1.5 years now. So as a nurse, I care for all the sick people, right? Have any of you guys ever been to the ER before?
Yeah.
Have you had to go to the doctor for being sick?
No, I only went to the doctor because I got glass in my leg and I had tons of broken.
Yeah, so as a nurse, we help get that glass out of there and get you feeling better so you can come back to school, right?
I've had surgery before.
Yep, you've had nurses help with surgeries too. Yep. That's the cool thing about being a nurse, is that there's so many different options. You can work in the doctor's office, I could work here at your school, I could work in the ER, I can travel around the world and do nursing. There's so many different options as far as nursing career. And I actually decided I wanted to be a nurse when I was y'all's age. I was real little when I knew I wanted to be a nurse. So when you graduate college, do you think you're done with school forever? Do you think you're done? No, that's right. You're always learning, you're always doing new classes, and every single day you learn something new, right? Do you guys learn something new every single day? Yeah. And you'll do that for the rest of your life. I learn something new every single day. Every single day I go to work, I learn something new. So here's a quick question. How much money do you think a nurse makes? $95? That's not, I mean, an hour, maybe.
104?
An hour, maybe.
13?
13. I hope not 13. So we can make anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 a year. That's pretty good for a nurse, right? Okay, here's some fun questions. You can earn candy this way. I got some lifesavers because I'm a lifesaver. All right, so what is the, let's see. How many bones are in the body? What do you got? 206. Did you say 206? Okay, 206. I'll give you a piece of candy anyway.
Hi, I'm Neil Young. I'm an aviation pilot. I've been flying for about 20 years off and on, and this is now my career. I've been doing it full time for about 4 years. Every 2 years I have to take a sort of a recertification exam to make sure that I still know the knowledge, I still have the abilities to fly an airplane, and I still know all the rules, or if the rules have changed, I know what the updates to the rules are. So even though I can go fly an airplane, there's still that continued education purpose to flying. Now, how much math is involved in flying an airplane?
1,000,000.
No way.
100,000.
All right, what if I told you right now you have enough math to sort of help fly an airplane? Yeah. So if I have 20 gallons, so here, let's work through this problem together. If I have 20 gallons of gas, I fly for 1 hour and I burn 10 gallons of gas. How much gas do I have left? How much gas? I had 20 gallons and I used 10. How much gas do I have?
10.
I have 10 gallons. Now for my next flight, I need 30 gallons of gas. How much do I have to put on? 20. That's the math I use every day while flying. So really, it's something you, right now, have the math knowledge to continue on and learn to fly. Did you ever think that?
First graders can do that.
Exactly, first graders can do that. So now, it's something you have to continue to practice. It's something that's easy, but if we don't do it a lot, then maybe we forget how to do it. But if we do it every day, then we're proficient in it, right? We can start at what age? We can start at 16, and then it takes about a year, and at 17 you get your license, right?
How old is flying? Like, how old is
Flying has been around a really long time. A lot of people attribute the Wright brothers as sort of the founding fathers of aviation.
How much do you get paid a year?
That's a good question. It depends on the type of job and the type of flying. The salary can vary from $30,000 a year to $200,000 a year. It really depends on where you're flying, who you're flying for, and the equipment you're flying.
I was in the Air Force for 24 years. That's a long time, okay? This is the uniform that I wore. This is the exact same uniform that I wore while I was in the military and when I retired. And I had my retirement ceremony. This is the exact same one, and I still have all the ribbons on it, and my name and my rank, because I was super proud of being in the military. And after you join the military and then you retire, the first thing you want to do is you want to talk about how great it was the whole time that you were there. And so now I want to talk to you about being in the Air Force and what it means, okay? And so, what do you all think that the Air Force means when you think about joining the Air Force? What's it mean?
It means that you have to commit to it and you're going to help it.
Great answer, yes. How about you?
Like people driving planes.
Right, people driving planes. And so what's the first word in Air Force? Go ahead, you say it out loud. Air, exactly. What's the second word? Force. What do you think of when you think of the word force?
You're like, to go after.
Right, go after somebody, okay? And so the Air Force is there to protect you all, okay? That's the biggest thing. They're there to protect you, they're there to protect me, they're there to protect your parents, they're there to protect all of us in case somebody wants to fight against us. And so when you join the Air Force, that's what your role is. Your role is to train, your role is to support the United States of America. And since we're part of the Air Force, what do we use? We use jets, okay? We fly jets. I don't fly jets, but there's other people that fly jets in the Air Force, and we're all one big team.